There's been more news coming out about GST, and every time something comes out, it's like, man, it can't get no worse, man. Come on, man. And what we're reading, you wonder. I mean, because in my head, I feel like GST was a great concept, but I feel like he went too big too fast. Right. I feel like if he kept all the meats kind of small and intimate like he did Miramar, I feel like it definitely would work, and you wouldn't need as much money. But based on the articles that's been released, it's saying that he didn't even have all of the money, um, which is which definitely I can see why people would say uh, Mike Michael was scamming because I mean, if you say you have something and then you don't have it, that means that you're being dishonest about your situation. Um, but I feel like he promoted it so well. He got so much people to buy in the beginning, and he was just like, "Man, we got to run it. We got to run it and hope that something happens." You know what I mean?
I think that you're being still optimistic and diplomatic on the situation. I think our platform, especially with him coming on the show and be able to speak his truth, which I felt was not full truths, um, because all these articles are coming out and the things that he said before are not aging well. He's been on record saying it's easy when you walk into negotiating rooms with investors as Michael Johnson. They talk about the gold shoes. Now, clearly, he's not acquiring any of the new investors that we know of at this point in time. And then the fact of your stance, the stance you made was, I want better for the athletes. I want the athletes to get paid what they deserve to get paid. Now you're that guy who owes money to the athletes, just like any other meat promoter that's out there who do pay. They may be slow with it, but they do pay. Um, I would like to see someone like Michael kind of step up to the plate when he especially had the conversation with us and be more transparent. Talk about who pulled out then. Why are we gonna wait until an article comes out and then they're gonna put you in a certain light, and then now you have to be able to jog around that too. You know, but the article says that the investors came down, which they should have gave money before the Grand Slam even started. The investors came down to Jamaica. They saw that Jamaica didn't hit like it was supposed to hit. The stadium was empty. And you got to understand, people, like, investors outside of our sport don't understand how our sport is ran, right? It was no way possible that Michael Johnson was going to get 30,000 people to fill up that Jamaican stadium. It wasn't going to happen. Sorry, it's not going, unless it was a championship or Cariftas or whatever. It was not going to happen that way. So that should have been translated and relayed to these investors when they got there. The fact of, hey, this is how our sport is ran, and what you see on the last day, this is great right here. But the fact of things happen along the way where they started the meet 3 days. The first day was on at 5 p.m. People still at work. How are they going to get through traffic to get home, to get their kids to come out and watch the race? That's why it didn't hit on Friday. It got better on Saturday and looked better on Sunday. But then from a camera angle, you see nothing but empty stands on the other side. I think that should have been handled as well. I think it was a lot of things that had a lot of oversight and they didn't really hit where they were supposed to hit. But I think Michael could have stepped in and been a little more transparent, not only with us as an audience, but also the athletes. That article was very detailed. He owes between Sydney and Gabby, he owes them 180,000, 250,000. He owes Melissa Jefferson 300,000. He owes Kenny 300,000, and whoever else, still venues as well. So do I see? And when he said Grand Slam is going to be back in 2026, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking different right now. I don't think it's going to be back, and if it is, it's not going to look the same like it did this season. So I'm not sure. I know in the group chat, y'all saying scam, scam, scam. But
Slam is a skill, they say.
but I asked him I asked him in the interview. I said, Michael, do you think that this hiccup, because at that time it was a hiccup, do you think this hiccup is going to hurt your legacy? I think he has to realize that people like myself, you, Rod, and a lot of people of our age bracket, we watch Michael in real time with the gold shoes on win his medals, do amazing times. This generation that's out now did not watch Michael run. They only see him on YouTube. And the generation to come, like the Tate Taylors, those young guys, they never seen Michael run in real time either. And they only know Michael as this meat promoter for the Grand Slam. So if this Grand Slam is failing the way it is, it's definitely going to put a dent in his legacy. And obviously, in him not being a correspondent for the BBC going to the World Championships, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for him to be able to build himself back up and come out of this. And why I say this, because you're going to have to find an athlete who's brave enough that you got to fill their pockets to be able to be your spokesperson and say, hey, everybody, he paid me in full. It's okay to come back. He's going to have the money for you. That's what it's going to take. Because as an audience, as a community, right now we're looking like, bro, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I think a lot of athletes are going to be very skeptical to get back into the Grand Slam if it does show up next year. It's going to have to be a lot of incentives, and it's also going to have to be money paid up front in a lot of ways.